Welcome to Radio Friends Tuesday, May the 14th. Got a good friend of mine with us today, Andrea Shelton, City of Columbia. We talk about recycling, we talk about composting, we talk about anything that's good for the environment. Good to have you here, Andrea. Now, you've got several. In fact, you've got a whole list of things that you want to that you want to talk about today.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about was our Columbia's own compost. Mm-hmm. We sell our own compost. The city of Columbia produces its own compost.
Now, when did this start?
We've been doing this for quite a few years, probably about 5 years at least.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now, I know you always did the mulch because I'd go down and get the free mulch.
At Capen Park, yeah.
But now the compost is something different. You're not giving it away free.
We're not giving it away free. We're selling it.
Okay.
Well, okay. We partner with a couple of grocery stores here in town where we collect their pre-consumer waste. That is, not post-consumer, it's pre-consumer before it's sold. It's maybe expired fruits or vegetables, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. We collect that from them. We take it to our landfill. We mix it with other, of course, cellulose materials and dirt and leaves and grass and whatnot, and we produce Columbia's own compost. Mm-hmm. We sell that at bulk, in bulk sizes at our compost facility, which is where our landfill is also.
Okay, so you realize how important compost is to the garden.
Yes.
Because it puts that organic matter back into the soil. It puts all those little the microbes, yeah. The microbes back in.
Yes, and it helps you kind of jumpstart your garden, your vegetables or fruits or flowers or whatever you're growing. It just kind of gives you that little jumpstart.
It's an organic way.
Yes,
it's an organic way. Because over the years we have used so much fertilizer on our land. And I'm trying this year, I've been trying to go as organic as possible with my garden. And so I'm reading all of this information, and you read some of this, you're really some dire stuff with all of the chemical fertilizers and insecticides and pesticides that we use. We are killing the microbes in the soil.
Right.
And we can jumpstart and revitalize it with that compost.
With this compost. Of course, you know about the classes. We've discussed that before. We teach people to make their own compost, but it's a complicated process, and it does take a while. So we also, sell this compost that we make. Again, we're keeping these items out of the landfill, these fruits and vegetables or whatnot out of the landfill, and we're making them into this compost that you can come in and buy at bulk. But we also, if you don't
do you have a loader on site?
Yeah, we have a loader on
with
site.
Their truck?
Yes. It's usually the second Saturday of each month at 8 a.m., and the prices are very reasonable.
So that'd be this Saturday, wouldn't it? Is this the second Saturday of the month?
No.
May 14th? This is May 14th. I have to look at a calendar. Okay, so it's the second and fourth. Is it second and fourth Saturday?
It's just the second.
Just the second Saturday.
Just the second Saturday.
Okay.
So you can come by, pick some up. If you don't want a truckload, you can scoop some into a bag if you want to do that. But we do have a loader that will put it in the back of your truck for you. But also, if you need a much smaller quantity, maybe you have just a flower bed or a small vegetable garden, in your backyard. We also sell bagged compost at some local stores. We sell them at Hy-Vee.
Oh yeah, and you got a bag here if you want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And this bag even has a microphone on it.
We're interviewing.
If you want to see what the bags look like, that's what's its name? Columbia's Own.
Columbia's Own Compost.
Yeah. Okay. It's available at some of the local grocery stores.
Hy-Vee and Menards.
Okay, and it's made here in Columbia by the City of Columbia. from your own items that you've
Discards, yeah. From your own yard waste, from fruits and vegetables, from several stores here in town. So it's actually, you are actually assisting the city in keeping these items out of the landfill by purchasing Columbia's own compost.
You don't need a lot of compost.
Right.
A little bit of compost goes a long way. It goes a long way, but it really does help.
It really does.
It helps
It does. My boss, he used it to grow some sweet potatoes that he gave me, and they were just huge.
Yeah.
It really did. He said it really did make a big difference.
Yeah. And I'm brewing compost tea this year.
Sounds delicious.
Have you heard of compost tea? Compost tea is it's made from compost.
Right,
and
when the
worm
water
castings.
leaches, yeah.
Right, and then you can spray it onto the ground, and it's all natural, or spray it on the plants.
Right.
It takes about 36 to 48 hours to brew a big 6-gallon jug of compost
But again,
tea.
another thing that kind of jumpstarts you, with your growing your vegetables in your flower garden also.
Okay, we got about 2 minutes left. There was other things I know you wanted to talk about.
Well, I want to just real quick talk about having a green Memorial Day. Okay. Just a few tips about recycling or reducing your waste for these summer barbecues that are coming up. Summer's coming up. We're having graduation parties, Memorial Day later in the summer, Labor Day, 4th of July, and we just want people to try to have as green of a cookout as they possibly can. So first tip, get all your meat and your fruits and vegetables from your local farmer's market.
Okay.
Shop local.
Okay, or better yet, if you're growing your own from the garden.
Even better. Yeah. That's even better.
The farmer's market, use the farmer's market. And what else?
Try not to use the commercial charcoal in your grill. It does pollute our environment, so use the hardwood charcoal, the briquettes, the hardwood briquettes, or even a gas grill. Some people think using a gas grill is just un-American, but it causes less pollution to the environment. So we encourage people to do that. Also, this is a thing you always make fun of me about, not using paper plates. If you have a small party, you can use real utensils and real plates.
Right, and if you don't have enough real utensils, ask people to bring them. Here's a lady that when she has a party, she asks people to bring their own utensils.
I do not. I make those arrangements way ahead of time. But at least use something that's recyclable if you're going to use something. And then there are also biocompostable plastic materials that you can use. They're made from soy, so you can compost these. They look like plastic cups.
It just takes a little bit of extra time to do some research on it.
And just make sure you also, if you're going to use anything, recycle your cans and your bottles and your paper products. Just make sure you actually recycle during your cookout.
Okay, and don't forget the second Saturday of the month.
Second Saturday of the month.
You can go pick up compost, but you have to pay for it.
From our landfill.
From the landfill, where?
It is out on Peabody Road. Okay. That's off of Paris Road. And then also go by Hy-Vee and pick up a bag of compost. Like I said, a little bit of compost goes a long way.
And it's made right here.
Yeah.
Andrea, we're out of time. Okay. Andrea Shelton, City of Columbia. Tomorrow we're going to do a look at Cuba and the Greenhouse Theater Project. If people want information, what's your phone number?
874-6271.
Okay, 8x10 glossies are available also. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute, audio Pat Akers, KBIA. Our floor director is Zach Lawhorn, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. I'd love to hear from you.